And welcome back to Central Valley Talk. I'm Mike Scott. My next guest is a local author, Linda Wilson-McDowell. She writes under the name Lynn Verne, and her latest book is Chocolate is Better, which is the story of four African-American girls in the, 70s, 60s, 70s? 60s and 70s?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm going to read a little bit, okay, before we get into our discussion here. This is one of the girls. I was 12 and kind of shy sometimes. My frame was tiny, but I had a big butt. My grandmother called me a brick house because the boys were always looking at my butt. I knew what she said was true. Well, you got my attention right there. What a description. Take it away. What do you want folks to know about these four girls?
First of all, before I even get started about the four girls, I want to first give honor to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Your inspiration, right?
Amen. My inspiration. And then second, I want to also give honor to Fresno, California Advocate, who's supporting everywhere I'm on my journey.
Our local newspaper.
This book, local newspaper. They've been awesome. So I just wanted to give some honor to them as well as Central Valley Talk.
Well, here you are.
Amen. Yes.
All right.
And I
so convince me that I need to read this book.
This book is awesome. It's such an awesome book. I wrote the book as an inspiration. I really didn't even know where I was going at in the book until after the book was released, and I realized that I had begun to see all the different things that was going on in the world and the generation today with the diversity of the culture, the hair, the young pregnancy, the drugs, just everything that's going on in the world. And I thank God that I wrote this book because it is such an inspiration. It's a book that when the readers open it up, they can look and say, wow, this is me, or they can redirect their lives and say, I don't want to go there, you know. And this book is based on four characters, four main characters. Altogether, it's about 13 characters in the book, but the main characters are black, the black girls that growing up in America. Back in the 60s and the 70s, and they're going to school and they're trying to identify who they are because of them being different. This is not a story about race. This is a story about their disability, about their trying to find out who they are. And
now, wait a minute. Why did you call it a disability?
Because they thought it was a disability in the beginning. They thought it was something wrong with them. They thought that they didn't fit in with the other girls in school, the other people in school, because of the culture of their hair. Back then, it wasn't curly hair. Back then, it was another word.
Afros.
Afros.
Yeah.
Nappy hair.
Nappy hair.
Kitchen. You know, if you had too many little curls in the back, they would say, you got kitchen. And then if someone wanted to be maybe rude or something because your hair was short, they would say bald-headed because you had short hair. I'm being realistic. I'm being real about it. And so a lot of things back then that even I experienced as growing up as a black girl in America is that I was faced with being different and identifying myself but I found out that it was a good thing. You know, it was a good thing as I grew older because I was in sports and because I did a lot of things that motivated me to realize that when I looked in the mirror, I like this. As I grew older, I say, I like this color. You know, my mom would say black is beautiful, but I would say, no, chocolate is better, you know, because my skin, to me, as a little girl, was chocolate. So the name came to me years ago as growing up, looking at myself and identifying who I was, you know. And so I took a lot of me as going through those experiences as a little girl, the happy part of it and then the sad little part about being different, and knowing that I would look around as these characters, as I placed in these characters, going to school, and some of the characters are trying to find out, well, why are these girls' hair straight and curly, and my hair is, coarse. You know, like I said, back then they said nappy. but it was just a texture of our hair. And we just needed to identify with the hair and be more educated on how to take care of the hair. And back in the 60s and 70s, we didn't have the perms, was using the perms, so our moms used the hot curlers and the straighten comb back then. And then we had the Royal Crown, the Super Grove, the dog mane. And so after the characters identified themselves and who they were, they began to go through and realize and say, I'm different, but different is good. And it didn't show an impact on the other cultures having anything to do with who they were. It didn't have anything with them to compete with who the other cultures was, whether they were Hispanic or they were Caucasian, and back then they called them the gray girls. So they found out being different is good. And it's not about anybody. It's about us. It's about us learning who we are and loving who we are and respecting who we are and moving forward in life. And then so after they have to identify that. And even when you're growing up and when you're young, you still are left with scars because of what you had to go through to get where you are. So these characters, even though they found out who they were, they still had hidden things going on with them. So they're basically growing up to be women in the story.
So it follows them into adulthood.
Yes, it does. And then in adulthood, they still have to face the world out here. And we all know how the world is out here with the drugs, the young pregnancy, deceiving, the lies, deception, and just everything that's going on in this world today,
some other authors we've had in here describe writing a book as like giving birth. It's like you put everything into this, and then to actually have it to hold when it's published, it's like it's your baby.
It's my baby.
Yeah. Is that how you felt?
I feel, because I feel that the book has a lot of my character in there, a lot of me growing up and feeling the emotions and even when I wrote the book and there were times when I cried in the book actually writing it, and there was times when I would laugh out loud and my husband would come in.
Is everything okay?
You're okay. And I would be okay, but it's just that you put all of you into something, and I thank God for that. And I'm not writing to be this author or to be successful as a writer, the fame and everything. But my writing as an author is to influence our generation, to help take the emotions from people, because a lot of times emotion isn't true. When you wake up in the morning, sometimes it's not true. Sometimes when people feel like they're depressed, it's not true, And so I write into the heart of people, to redirect the heart so that they can identify really who they are, and so that they can become loving oneself and knowing that there's nothing in the world that they can do. And it's okay if I'm different. It's okay if I didn't go to college and I'm not educated, because I can be educated. It's okay that I don't speak good English, but I can learn to speak English well, And it's okay that I'm disabled, because I can do better, and I'm gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. Being different is okay. It's okay.
What a good message. Chocolate is better. Lynn Verne is the name on the book, but it's written by Linda Wilson-McDowell, and it's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, probably print on demand, or
yes,
lots of places you can find it. Are you going to have any signings coming up anywhere in town?
Yes, I am. I have a book signing that'll be coming up at Barnes & Noble as well. I'll be doing some presentations out at Fresno City College, and also some well-known schools in the community as well. I plan on doing some traveling, opening up some doors as a spokeswoman, trying to get the readers to read the book, to get into the book, so that they can also define some things that's going on in their life and to influence our generation that's out here today.
All right. Linda, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Is there a sequel in the works, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hopefully.
Ooh.
Amen.
It could be
I
called
praise
Chocolate
God.
is Even Better.
What's a part 2? It's a part,
part
2 coming up.
Okay.
Yes.
I will look
So
forward.
there's a
You'll have to come
novel.
back when that comes
Yes.
out.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Amen. Thanks
All right.
for having me.
Linda Wilson-McDowell, Chocolate is Better, right here on Central Valley Talk.